Hey everybody, welcome back to a Watching the Tropics episode 5, where we're going over the latest on the potential tropical cyclone 1. We have new breaking information for you, as there are now tropical storm watches in effect for portions of Florida, and everything that you need to know in terms of the track and intensity over the next several days. Let's hop right into it. So as of right now, there is a system that is just coming off the peninsula as of right now. You can see all the storm activity on the eastern side of where that low pressure system is as of right now. It's basically on the very far northern portion of the peninsula. This will eventually go off to the northeast into the Gulf of Mexico, and that will stay probably just west of Cuba, but obviously a lot of storm activity, a lot of heavy rain currently in those areas like Cuba, and this will obviously on go for the next couple of days. Here's the latest on the National Hurricane Center's track. So as you can see here, it will become a tropical depression most likely no later than later tonight or tomorrow morning. It'll become a tropical storm most likely by tomorrow afternoon, and eventually by Saturday it should make landfall early Saturday afternoon in areas like western Florida, so close to areas like Fort Myers, just to the south of Tampa Bay, and off to the northwest of Miami, and eventually it'll track through Florida. It should move through Florida pretty quickly. I mean, we're going to be looking at later this upcoming week, so going into Sunday, you can see it's going to be all the way over to the southeast of the Carolinas. This will already be past Florida by Sunday, so most of the impacts for Florida will be coming most likely on Saturday and as well as late Friday. That's the time frame at this point. Eventually, it'll go off into the Atlantic Ocean, and you can see it might actually impact Bermuda. It is in the cone as of right now, so that'll be an area to watch for maybe at least some rainfall, obviously some increased activity and waves, and that will also apply to the East Coast. Now, there are tropical storm watches in effect for those in western and central Cuba, and as well as even the east and west coast of Florida. So increased amount of waves, swells, and as well as the potential for some isolated coastal flooding will exist with this system. And here's a look again where that low pressure system is as of right now, and it is basically about to go into the Gulf of Mexico within the next couple of hours, and that'll start to develop from there. Here's a look at what the computer models are showing in terms of the track, and they have been very specific at this point. They have not really been varying that much. They've been very well on with each other. You can see that currently the main track at this point will be south of Tampa Bay, and again, off to the north of the Keys, and eventually go off to the northeast. And it might impact, again, portions of the east coast of the United States, but again, that's probably going to be minor impacts. I'm talking about maybe a few isolated showers, an increase of humidity, obviously, and also some increased activity in waves. Some computer models are varying as it gets closer out to the areas like Bermuda, so this will be an area to kind of watch closely. We'll have to wait and see what happens from there, but it will definitely be an area to watch for those in Bermuda. Here's a look at the intensity guide over the next several days, and this is really what we're looking at. So again, most likely going to become a tropical storm. I can't rule out it gets a little bit larger, maybe even up to maybe a very low-end Category 1 hurricane in the Atlantic Ocean. I can't rule it out, but as of right now, we should be staying really around a moderate to low-end tropical storm. Here's a look at the future radar. Let's go ahead and take a look at that. That's going to give you an idea of what the wind speeds are going to be over the next several days, and kind of give you an idea of what's going on. So going through Saturday, you can see here's where that wind field is at this point. So basically going into early Saturday, that will be in southwestern Florida. Eventually going through Saturday, that really will move through Florida very quickly. I'm talking about maybe a 18 to 24 hour landfall. It'll eventually go back into the Atlantic Ocean. Eventually going to Sunday, you can see the wind field starts to increase. So we're talking about 50 to 60 knots as it goes into the Atlantic Ocean. So that's why I'm concerned. This might actually be able to get a little bit stronger and maybe even get to maybe a possible low end Category 1 hurricane as it gets over toward Bermuda. So that'll be definitely an area to watch very closely. Here's a look at the European model. Very similar situation here. It shows it makes landfall basically early Saturday, and again, wind speeds right around 50 knots or so, which is about 55 miles per hour. And eventually going into Sunday, the wind speeds start to increase as it goes up the east coast, and that's actually showing to be a little bit further to the west than the GFS model, so it could actually go possibly a little bit further and closer to even the Carolinas. So that'll definitely be an area to watch, but I don't think it'll impact the Carolinas that significantly. Against some like increased, maybe some gusty winds, increased humidity, and as well as the possibility for some increased waves. All right, make sure to stay updated again with North Texas Weather Center for the latest. We'll keep you updated with the latest on the tropics. This forecast is brought to you by Platinum Contracting, All Dense Repair, and the Patriot Safe Rooms.